Venture capitalist John Doerr is known for making the right calls, like backing Google and Amazon.com long before they ever became household names. This morning, he's in Washington under pressure to make more good calls. He's part of the president's Economic Recovery Advisory Board, which is meeting today. He joins us from the White House in an interview that is first on Bloomberg. John, good morning to you. This is only the second time that the Economic Recovery Advisory Board has met. I'd like to hope that there's at least some conversation going on via email and over the telephone. Tell us a bit about what you've been discussing.
Well, the administration is very focused on growing the economy and creating new jobs for America. And so there's ongoing conversations, discussions, suggestions, debates as we develop public recommendations for the president. That's what we'll be doing today.
All right, well, there are a lot of high-profile names on that board. You're in excellent company. Where do you find there's most agreement among the members of the board?
There's broad agreement that the economy really can be strengthened and jobs can be created in three areas. The first is in and around infrastructure, which we've seen in the Recovery Act. A second is with green jobs. Greening of our economy, every part of it. And a third is in and around innovation, innovative manufacturing techniques.
And John, sorry, just one, where is there disagreement there? I can understand why, certainly if you look at some of the names, why you'd have the agreement on those points that you just raised, but I can't imagine that you guys agree on everything.
Well, there's a vigorous discussion, I'd say, to matters, for example, of the regulation of the financial system and other elements of ensuring that we never return to the fiscal disaster, the financial disaster that we had beginning in 2007.
John, I know you're a keen advocate, of course, of green issues. We're coming up to Copenhagen in less than a month and a half. It's going to be a very divisive and decisive meeting. What scale of financing is needed from both rich to poor nations to actually help them cope with the effects of climate change?
Well, I'm really not qualified to estimate that, but I do think you're right about the scope of what's before Copenhagen. We need to set in place an international agreement so that over time, we can move surely to recapitalizing or reindustrializing how it is that we're going to generate and use energy. And that's a very big part of the worldwide economy.
How much is the U.S. committed, of course, to Copenhagen, and will we have a treaty?
Well, the administration, the president himself have said that this process is very important. When you ask about a treaty, I assume you mean a Copenhagen treaty, and that's really going to depend on discussions between the nations.
John, very quickly, what do you personally see as the biggest challenges facing the U.S. economy right now?
Well, what we're most focused on, what the President's Advisory Board is focused on, is on creating jobs. There's pretty clear evidence that the decline in the economy has reversed, right? We saw GDP grow 3.5% in the last quarter. That's compared to 6 months earlier, perhaps a six percentage point decline. But economic activity, leads job creation, and jobs is our job number one.